Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to come your way again. It's so beautiful here where I am, and I hope I caught you in a very good mood. Today, I come your way again because I promised you I was going to give you the details of my fertility story. I'll be discussing some spiritual aspects to my story, so I hope you get the understanding. Before I got married, I was told that I'll have miracle babies. I was a child, I didn't understand. When I got to understand, then I knew that okay, it wasn't going to come easy. I remember some dreams I was having before I got married, and those dreams were attacks. And usually, I had a pastor who had the interpretation of dreams. So when I talked to him, he would tell me, pray about your marriage, pray about your childbirth. It could be an attack on them. And well, I actually did. You see, the thoughts of God are not ours. He also had his own plan. So the beginning of the marriage was quite okay. We were okay. We had our checks and we were told we were okay. But the babies were not coming either. So it was, oh God, what is happening? The doctors are saying I am okay, so what is happening? And people will meet you and, how are the babies? And then you have to reply and say, oh, I don't have them yet. And well, sometimes I don't blame people. They genuinely want to know how you are doing. And it's as expected that when you are married, within 1 year, you should have your babies on your lap, especially when you are having your anniversary. It is expected that hopefully you have your babies. But when it doesn't turn that way, that is when it gets quite awkward when people meet you and they are asking you about your babies. And I quite remember sometimes I will post on my status and somebody will be like, oh, is that your baby? So beautiful. And I'll be like, oh no, that's a friend. Oh, some people will even go ahead and be like, oh, we are expecting yours soon and all that. Well, I appreciate the love, everybody. I know sometimes it is genuinely out of care that you ask these questions. So yeah, my husband and I had to develop some shells or shields, I don't know what to say, just to be able to go through and appreciate people no matter how it comes out. Fast forward 4 years into the marriage, I started growing lean. My belly was going big. I couldn't eat. So yeah, I am not this skinny. It is the whole situation that got me like this. But hey, life goes on. So I started growing lean. I couldn't eat. I realized my tummy was going big. In the beginning, we thought I was pregnant. In fact, a few months into the year 2020, I visited my mom, I think somewhere in December. And my mom is a retired midwife. So she called me and checked me and said, nah. When I came, she thought I was actually pregnant. But it seems what she's feeling is not a baby. It's more like fluid. So I should go to the hospital and check. She actually went with me. I got quite a scare at the beginning. And I was told to go and see a specialist. So when I came back to my place, I went to my doctor, my then doctor, and he gave me a referral letter to go to either Trust Hospital or Kolibu. So upon deliberations, we decided to go to Kolibu. We went to Kolibu and the tests started coming in. We ran so many tests. I remember we had a colonoscopy, we had CT scans, we had x-rays, we had pathology tests, we had the pap smears, we had so many things. At the beginning, it was quite a scare. And I'll be tagging some of the photos in there. And mind you guys, they are quite graphic, so discretion please. Now, before March, somebody had seen something and the person told me they see me dead. And the dates they gave was actually September 26th, that it was an attack on my life. The enemy had plans of taking my life. And at that time, it was very scary. I mean, physically, I couldn't eat. because the belly was so big. When I eat, I have to take in little portions because the fluid had, I don't know, it was squeezing everything in my system. I don't know how I'll explain it, but maybe when I take photos, you understand. Sometimes breathing was even an issue. I couldn't breathe. From all the tests that they were running, they started letting me know that I had fibroids. So many of them, and they said they were outside of the womb, so that one wasn't even in the way of my childbirth. In my layman's understanding, I'm not a doctor, so get this. In my layman's understanding, what they were saying was that the fibroids were like this. If this is the uterus, the fibroids I was experiencing were so tiny, there were so many of them, and they were outside of the womb like this. Now, there are some fibroids that are found inside of the uterus. Those are the dangerous ones. And there are others that are found in between the lining of the uterus, the outer part, and the inner. So let's say in here, there could be a fibroid. Now, one thing I want to let you guys know is that you don't have to have a big belly to know that you have fibroid. I have always had a flat tummy, but apparently they had been around. The fibroids had been around. And just before I forget, I'll be tagging a message by Apostle Joshua Selman. There is a spiritual aspect to fibroids. I will put the link below. Please remember to watch it and get some understanding and pray about your childbirth, like I said. So yes, my situation was such that the fibroids are outside of the womb, so it is not in the way of childbirth. They were also saying that the fibroids were in a position where I couldn't sit for a while. So I was actually off work for a couple of months, let's say 3 months or so, because I couldn't really sit. When I sit, I'm in pain. As I sit and talk to you guys, I'm still in pain, because at a point they said they were going to have a surgery on me to take those things out and everything, but upon further investigations they decided not to. When I sat, there was pain because some of them were pushing on my tailbone, and that was what was causing the pain. Then the doctors also told me I had ovarian cyst. Ovarian cyst, in my layman's understanding, I cannot really explain. Maybe I'll tag you in the description so you can check it below, or you can just go to Google and get an understanding of what it is. So what they were saying was that some of the ovaries were so small. Other times they were saying that my body temperature was so high. I mean, it was a whole lot. And the worst of all the diagnosis was the endometriosis, and I'll also tag that one below. But the endometriosis, they say, is what was causing the acidic fluids to gather in the belly area. When the stomach started going big, some of the symptoms I was having were that I was having very severe pelvic pain. I was having very severe back pains, and it was when the doctor explained to me that these things should have been diagnosed a long time ago. The symptoms were there all this while, and I didn't really know. So the back pains were there. I remember when I was in the tertiary, I was having those back pains, and I have very severe dysmenorrhea. Apparently, it was also a sign that if I had come to the hospital earlier, they would have known. Sometimes when I'm in the time of the month, the pain is so bad I cannot get up and do anything. Sometimes I vomit. Sometimes I cannot eat at all. Diagnosing the endometriosis sometimes is difficult because it is the same symptoms as when you have dysmenorrhea, when you have other health issues and all that. So diagnosing was not easy. I can't count the number of tests.
So they took the first sample from my stomach with a syringe so that I can use that for the lab tests. And from what they found out, they decided that they had to draw the fluid from my stomach because I couldn't eat, I couldn't do anything. They wanted to do that so that I could get comfortable. So they got about 3 liters on each draw, and they did the drawing 3 times. So this is actually me before the very first time they drew the fluid, and the second picture is when I drew the very last fluid. There was still a little bit more fluid inside, and the doctor decided that I had to take an injection called Zoladex. I'll leave it in the description below. The fluid stopped for a while and it started coming again, and so they advised that I had to take contraceptives because there was a component in the Zoladex that was in contraceptives that will stop the recurring of the fluid. So just imagine, I need children and yet I have to stay on contraceptives. And eventually what they are saying is that I can't give birth on my own. I need IVF, and even that, it is 50-50.
We have been drained financially. The trips to Kolebu, the times you have to wake up and all that. I'm even teary as I speak. Family has been very supportive. A few friends around who know what we have been through have been so supportive. And I just want to use this opportunity to appreciate all of you. Our spiritual fathers have been so supportive, and we are so grateful, everybody. God bless you so much. Our God has been with us. Sometimes He will show us dreams of me pregnant, show us dreams of me breastfeeding, and it has always been a wonderful time when the Lord has also always showed us that He is with us in the journey. I don't look at the physical strains it brought on me. No, I look forward to what God has planned for me. I look forward to when He will put my babies on my lap, and I'll be a miracle that you will look onto and know that there is a God we serve who is amazing. If you are going through what I'm going through, doctors will do their part. Don't stop going for the checks because it helps. But know that God is the giver of children and He alone can give you. So as you do that part, you also look to God and He's going to come through for you. I'm happy today I've been able to share my story. I pray and I pray that if you are going through what I have been through, God will help you and I both to come out of it. And if you are yet to marry, please let my story be a lesson so that you don't go through what I have been through. I have learned 1 or 2 lessons about seeing a doctor on time. We do not go for checks as we should, as early as possible. Say a girl sees a gynae, immediately she starts her monthly flow. She sees a gynae and then she has regular visits with a gynae. If there is any issue whatsoever along the way, it will be tackled very early and it saves a lot. The last advice I want to give you is don't wait till the marriage is up before you start praying about it. This is particularly to the Christians. Before you even get of age, pray into your marriage, pray into your childbirth, pray ahead. Prayer is an investment. You don't have to wait until you face certain situations before you start praying about those situations. Please don't forget to like my videos, share it. Somebody needs this. It doesn't actually take anything to subscribe, and I hope to be a blessing. Thank you so much. Bye.